नमस्कार मोहम्मद प्रधान आपको पुणी थे स्वागत जनाऊँ आम एसएसबी पीजी इकोनॉमिक्स 2023 लेक्चर सीरीज आम डिस्कसन करुचे द माइक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स लेक्चर 8 आम डिस्कसन करवा आज विषय वस्तु रोचे रिवील प्रिफरेंस हाइपोथेसिस ऑलरेडी आम पढ़ी सारी आमर डिफरेंट थ्योरीज मार्सिलियन यूटिलिटी एनालिसिस एंड आप हिक्सन यूटिलिटी एनालिसिस जोटा कि इंडिफरेंस कर्व ऑर्डिनल एंड कार्डिनल अप्रोच. So today we shall be discussing about your reveal preference hypothesis that was given by the P.H. Samuelson. Okay, so in this there is a less assumptions has been taken. Okay, and there is a more sophisticated approach or the scientific approach that has been developed by P.H. Samuelson, and that is known as your reveal preference hypothesis. So before that we should discuss about what was the previous theory. आम जो देखा previous theory मार्सिलियन यूटिलिटी एनालिसिस जोटा कि आप कार्डिनल मेजरमेंट ऑफ यूटिलिटी पर बेस करथिला. यूटिलिटी कैन बी मेजर इन टर्म्स ऑफ द न्यूमेरिकल यूनिट. देन तापर हला आपनकर हिक्सन अप्रोच हिक्स. ओके, हिक्स कोन देथिले देखंतु से ऑर्डिनल यूटिलिटी अप्रोच कहथिले एवं ऑर्डिनल यूटिलिटी अप्रोच हिसाब रे आमे यूटिलिटी को आमे मेजर करि परिबा. आम इन टर्म्स ऑफ द न्यूमेरिकल फिगर हिसाब से मेजर करि परिबानी. रादर आम कौन करि परबा कंपेयर किंबा रैंक करि परिबा. ओके, सिंपली आम रैंकिंग करि परिबा. ओके, बिकॉज द यूटिलिटी इज ए सब्जेक्टिव concept that will differ from person to person, so we cannot exactly quantify it. Okay, so Hixian approach has criticized the Marshallian approach, okay, and developed the indifference curve analysis to explain the theory of consumer behavior. But okay, so there was a debate among the Marxian utility analysis, your Marxian utility analysis and your Hixian utility analysis. In between that, a new theory emerged that is known as your Samuelson reveal preference theory. Okay, Samuelson reveal preference theory, and that is based upon the consumer preferences about the reveal in the market. It means how a particular person is behaving with looking to the budget constraint and the prices of both the commodities. Okay, so the actual behavior has been studied by your reveal preference hypothesis. Okay, and that is based upon the strong ordering and weak axiom. We can say weak axiom and strong ordering. We'll see what is strong ordering and what is weak axioms. Okay, so another theory has been developed that is known as your reveal preference hypothesis, and in this theory we can say that this theory does not involve any problem of measurement of utility. It means there is no need to measure the utility. There is no need to measure the utility. Okay, so we don't have to calculate the utility either in terms of the cardinal utility analysis or in terms of the ordinal utility analysis. Okay, so simply this Samuelson had showed that under his reveal preference theory, the consumer demand can be derived straight away from the consumer's budgetary constraint and his preference revealed in the market. Okay, simply at this given money income, what is the preference of the consumer? By drawing these analysis we can able to say the difference preference of the consumer can be expressed, okay, without involving the problem of cardinal and ordinal measurement of utility. So simply by giving your money income, okay, and whatever the changes that will occur due to the changes in the price of X or price of Y or price of the so many commodity, so how the people is behaving on the basis of the market behavior, we can say the reveal preference hypothesis has been developed. Okay, so here you can see there is no need of the cardinal and the ordinal measurement of utility. Then after that a new theory has been developed, that is von Neumann and Morgenstern theory, that is based upon the measurement of the cardinal utility, and he has given the cardinal utility index. Okay, in terms of the index he has represented their hypothesis. Okay, and they simply explaining about the what decisions making under the condition of uncertainty. So simply under the condition of uncertainty, the von Neumann and Morgenstern develop a new utility theory. Okay, the new consumer behavior theory. After that the Friedman and Savage has tried to analyze and they have given their views in the consumer behavior theory, and they try to show that the income and they try to show that as the income increases, when there is an increase in the income or the money income, the individual increases. Okay, we can see when there is increase in the income of an individual, in that case what will happen, the marginal utility of his income first decreases. It means marginal utility of income first decreases, okay, then increases and finally decreases. It means finally decrease, then increases, and we can say first of all it will decline, then increase, and then finally decrease. Okay, so first of all it will decrease, then it will increase, and that it will again decrease, and then in the final stage that will decline. Okay, so that is the basis of this theory of your Friedman and Savage hypothesis, and under this they have tried to analyze the marginal utility of money income. Okay, the marginal utility of money income, and explains why people buy insurance, and therefore why the people buy insurance at the same time indulging in game. It means they are doing same thing, gambling as well as you're making the insurance. It means a risk, your risk taking behavior and risk averse behavior both are shown in the Friedman and Savage hypothesis. Okay, at the same time where an individual involved in the gambling, okay, and where an individual involved in the insurance, okay, avoiding the risk. Then after that Levenstein has developed the theory by taking into consideration the external effect into the your consumer behavior theory, and he has given the concept of the bandwagon effect, snob effect, and the Veblen effect. We'll discuss in a separate video what is the meaning of the bandwagon effect and the snob effect and the Veblen effect in detail. So he has given the concept of these external effects, that is your bandwagon effect, snob effect, and the Veblen effect into the theory of the current theory of the consumer demand, we can say. Okay, so after having this type of development on Newman, Morgenstern, reveal preference theory, Friedman and Savage, and the Levenstein theory, so it has been felt by the your Hicks that I have to change the unnecessary change has been made to the inference curve approach, and therefore he revised his theory of demand, that is known as your revision to demand theory. And in the book the value and capital, he has revised his theory of consumer demand that was based upon your ordinary utility analysis. Okay, that is called your a revision to the demand theory. Okay, and after that in the mid of the 1960s, the Clevin Lancaster added the another dimension of the theory of demand by exploring what is the technology of consumption. So a new technique of the inference curve has been developed by the Clevin Lancaster, and that is the last point we can say of your consumer theory. Okay, theory of consumer behavior, you can say. So these are the some theories that is based upon your different types of thing regarding your theory of consumer behavior. Okay, so our today's discussion is the reveal preference hypothesis. We will discuss the reveal preference hypothesis. So what is the meaning of reveal preference hypothesis? So if you go into the deeply, it is a scientific approach or the behavioristic approach explaining the consumer behavior. It means as we have the money income, by changes by looking to the price of the different goods, how a consumer is behaving in the market. So it is a simply a behavioristic pattern. Okay, as against the psychological explanation, because the Marshallian utility analysis, both cardinal and ordinal utility analysis, that depend upon the psychology of the consumer. But here we are not talking to the consideration of the what psychology of the consumer, rather we are taking the actual market behavior, and that's why it is a scientific approach or the behavioristic approach, how a particular individual or particular family is behaving with respect to changes in the money real money income by changes in the price of the different goods, and that actual behavior has been studied by the reveal preference theory. Therefore it is not a psychological explanation of the theory of consumer behavior. Okay, as you have studied that the Marshallian Hicksian approach that was based upon your introspective method. Okay, so in these theories both the theories, your Marshallian and Hicksian, they were based upon the what your introspective method, but we can say that it is in the, or we can say simply that it is based upon your psychological explanation of the consumer demand. But as you have said that already, the reveal preference hypothesis that does not explain the psychological behavior of the consumer, rather it explains the actual behavior of the consumer, and that is studied in the what market behavior. Okay, and that based upon the what various price income situations. Okay, if there is a changes in income, if there is a changes in the price of the commodity, and how the people are behaving or how the individual is behaving in the market, and that is your reveal preference hypothesis, we can say. Okay, so it is a simply we can say it is a sharp contrast to the psychological or introspective explanation to the scientific or the behavioristic explanation of the consumer behavior. Okay, so that's why it is known as your we can say the reveal preference hypothesis. Okay, because it actually reveals the preference pattern of the consumer that is based upon your price income situation, different price income situations. Okay, so and also he has criticized that the utility cannot be comparable or quantifiable at all. Okay, therefore the Samuelson's theory is known as your what behavioristic ordinalistic approach, that is called what behavioristic ordinalistic. We can able to rank, but it is based upon the what actual behavior. Okay, not on the psychological concept. Therefore it is known as the behavioristic ordinalistic approach. Okay, and the two features of the behavioristic ordinal approach are, what are the first feature? The first feature is that it applies the behavioristic method. It means it does not depend upon the psychology of the consumer, rather it depends upon the actual behavior in the market, how changes in the income and changes in the different prices of the commodity that will lead to the changes in the preference of the consumer. Okay, and the second thing is that it has to be noticed and then it uses the concept of the ordinal utility. It uses the concept of ordinal utility. It means in terms of the ranking we can say, or we can able to compare the different combinations of the good. Okay, so let's come to the assumptions and the axioms of your revealed preference hypothesis. So the axioms of or the assumptions we can say simply, the assumptions of the revealed preference hypothesis are the rationality. It means a consumer must be a rational consumer. Okay, it means he will or she will prefer the largest basket, and that will give him or her, okay, or his, or we can say his or her maximum utility, or we can say then transitivity relationship. Okay, we can say then transitivity. So transitivity means once if there are three combinations is available in the market, A, B and C, and if you are preferring A then B, and if B is preferred then C, okay, then automatically A is preferred to C, automatically A will be preferred to C. Okay, so that is simply known as your what your transitivity relationship. Okay, it means for example if in the numerical figure we can say A gives you 100 rupees 100 units of or 100 utils of utility, and B gives you the 50 utils and C gives you the 25 utils, then if you are preferring A 100, okay, utils then the 50 utils, and if you are preferring the 50 utils then the 25 utils, then automatically 100 util is preferred to the 25 utils. But I have explained in terms of your what numerical figure, but the just to understand the concept, okay, how that will happen. But actually the revealed preference theory that they did not discuss about the quantifiable utility. Okay, so next point is your the consistency. Next point hoche apanar kono consistency hoche. So consistency means the consumer taste and preferences should not be changed. Okay, it means if the consumer is preferring X commodity then the Y commodity, so he must always prefer to the X rather than the Y commodity in no any other circumstances. So Y should be preferred to X, always the consumer should prefer to X then A, we can say. So here the example has been given. The consistency implies means the taste and preference of the consumer remain constant. Suppose if a consumer, given the different circumstances, if the consumer prefers A to B, will not prefer B to A under any same conditions. Okay, if the conditions will be violated, then there may be the changes, but under the same conditions if both are available to them, if the person is preferring the combination A rather than B, okay, if A is preferred to B then B should not be preferred to A. Okay, so that is called your consistency. And another important assumption is that the price inducement. So price inducement is what? Given the consumer choice of the basket of the goods, the consumer can be included to buy a different basket of goods by providing him the sufficient price incentives. It means if the prices is changing, then consumer is able to prefer more and more of a commodity and more of both the commodity, because his real uh, because his real income is getting changed. Okay, so this is the assumptions of your we can say the reveal preference hypothesis. And the reveal preference hypothesis, we can say the consumer behavior. The main merit of the reveal preference hypothesis is that we can derive the law of demand directly from the reveal preferences axioms without using the indifference curve and the most restrictive assumptions also. Without using the assumptions, without using the indifference curve approach, we can able to derive the reveal preference, we can able to derive the law of demand with the help of the reveal preference axioms. Okay, so what are that axioms? We can see strong ordering with axioms, we can see weak axiom, we can see. Okay, so reveal preference theory is also known as the what? The third root of the logical theory of demand. It is the third root of the logical theory of demand. Okay, so all these are the different things that you have to keep in mind while discussing the reveal preference hypothesis. Okay, so we can say that this Abelson reveal preference hypothesis has the preference hypothesis on the basis of the theory of demand, we can say. So what does says the reveal preference hypothesis? What is the basis of the reveal preference hypothesis? So according to this hypothesis, when a consumer is observed to choose a combination A out of the alternative combinations open to him, he reveals his preference A over all other alternative combinations which he could have purchased. It means, okay, it means we can see the diagram. Suppose for example I am plotting the diagram, a new diagram. Okay, just see here we are taking the y x o x axis. Here good x we have taken and good y you have taken. Okay, suppose your budget line is this one. Okay, and suppose the consumer is preferring A. Okay, if the bundle C is also available to you, one second, if the bundle B is also available to, if the bundle E is also available to, if the bundle D is, it is not available because it is out of the budget constraint. So before this the budget space, we can say, okay, within that budget space the consumer can prefer with the same budget line, let it be 100 rupees. Okay, with that same budget line the consumer can prefer affordable, C is affordable, B is affordable, A is affordable, and also E is affordable. But at E the consumer will not prefer because he has not completely utilized his money income, so he will try to achieve a higher point than the E. Therefore E is revealed to be inferior than the C, A and B. But here the question is that among these three alternatives available to him, okay, if the consumer prefer A, okay, to B or A to C, we can say, it means if any other combination is available to him but he is reveals preference to the point A, it means other points are inferior along with the budget line or below the budget line. Okay, he is which the alternatives he can able to purchase. Okay, so if you see that the C combinations can able to purchase, it means आम C भी purchase करि परिबा, B भी purchase करि पार, हमर सामर्थ्य अछि E भी purchase करि परिबा, किंतु सबु combinations available थिला परे भी हम कोन प्रिफर करछु, हम A को प्रिफर करछु. या माने कोन A is revealed to prefer to the any other combinations. It means any other combinations are revealed inferior to the A, therefore we are choosing the combination A. So this is called your reveal preference theory, we can see. Okay, this is the basis of your reveal preference theory. Okay, then in other words we can say when a consumer chooses a combination A, it means he consider that all other alternative combinations which he could have purchased to be inferior to A. And I have already told you, if available option is there and the consumer is preferring A rather than C, rather than B, rather than E, okay, so it means that C, B, E are revealed to be inferior than A. therefore we are choosing the point A. Okay, so this is the basic the terminology or the basic concept of the reveal preference hypothesis. Okay, so he is revealed to be, or he is revealing his consistency behavior, we can say, or the strong ordering, we can say. Okay, so the consumer is consistent in his behavior. Okay, therefore that is he rejects that all other combinations open to him in favor of the chosen combination is revealed to be inferior, we can say. Okay, so therefore according to the choice of reveal preference, we can say the choice of a combination A reveal his definite preference over A than all other rejected combinations. It means we are definitely preferring A than other combinations because A gives us the maximum satisfaction that we feel. Okay, okay, so this is the thing that you have to keep in mind. Okay, so what we are doing, we are comparing the preference of the consumer reveal in different price income situations. We can obtain the preference skill. So by changing the money income or by changing the prices of the goods, we can have the different level of the income, and at the different level of income we can have the different level of the reveal preference point, and that is known as what the scale of preference. We can able to derive also scale of preference. Okay, it means at the different budget line, suppose for example at the different budget line, let me draw one. The different budget line, we can say, suppose the price of X fall, then what will happen? Budget line will shift. Again price of X fall, again budget line will shift. One second. Again budget line will shift. So at this point what will happen? Suppose the consumer was a point in the reveal preference, at this A prime point, at this A double prime point. Okay, so in this way when the price of X fall, the budget line will shift, and along the budget line will shift, then consumers can able to prefer more and more of both the commodity or a particular commodity also. That depends upon the nature of the good, we can see. Okay, so this is known as what at the different level of the income we are preferring the different level of the preferences. So this is known as what indifference may preferences, or okay, we can say, just one second, we can say indifference scale, we can say. Okay, so let's come to what is the meaning of the weak axioms of reveal preference. So what is the meaning of weak axioms of reveal preference? So weak axioms of reveal preference simply says if a combination A is directly reveal preferred to any other combinations B, then in any other situation the combinations B cannot be reveal preferred to combination A by the consumer when the combination A is also affordable. It means if you have the two combinations, जदि तुम पाखे दुईटा कम्बिनेशन्स अच्छी ए और बी अच्छी, और जदि तुम प्रिफर करुच कम्बिनेशन ए को देन कम्बिनेशन बी को, तो आउ कौन से केमती जदि ए और बी दुईटी कम्बिनेशन अवेलेबल अच्छी तो बी को तुम प्रिफर करनी देन ए, जोटा कि मुझे अलरेडी तुमको कही सारी. ओके, ठीक अच्छे. सो दिस इज द बेसिक ऑफ योर व्हाट इट मीन्स. सिंपली आम जो कहूँ कौन, द प्रिफरेंस ऑफ द कंज्यूमर मस्ट बी कंसिस्टेंट. इट मीन्स इफ ही इज प्रिफरिंग ए to B given the available combinations A and B, okay, then automatically B is revealed to be preference, you can see. It means sorry, A is revealed to be preferred but B is revealed to be inferior, we can say. So from the diagram we can able to see also. आम diagram रे देखी देवा. Then for example मुझे जो कि आपन example दउथली एटा आपन budget line बा price line. Okay, এই প্রাইস লাইনে দেখুন তো আপনাদের সি কম্বিনেশন अवेलेबल আছে, বি কম্বিনেশন अवेलेबल আছে, আপনাদের কোন এ কম্বিনেশন अवेलेबल আছে, সি আছে, জি আছে, ই আছে, ডি আছে, এফ আছে. ওকে, দেখন্তু আমি কোন করছি, দেখন্তু যদি এই বাজেট লাইনে আমি সি বি প্রিফার করি পারবা, এ বি প্রিফার করি পারবা এবং বি প্রিফার করি পারবা, কিন্তু এনি अदर কম্বিনেশন রাইট অফ দি ডি আমি প্রিফার করি পারবানি বিকজ আমার বাজেট লাইন हमको परमिट करूनी. तो এবং বিলো দিস পয়েন্ট भी हमें एक्चुअली हमें परचेज करि पारनी बिकज काहेला ऑल दिस आर द इन्फेरियर. Okay, so I'm going to prefer kariba. Then if you are preferring a combination, then any other combination on the budget line or within the budget space will be revealed to be inferior to point A. So therefore this is the point of consistency or reveal preference point. So here we can get the superior combinations point. All this zone, white zone, is known as your what? Inferior zone. Okay, and this zone is also known as your inferior zone because we are not preferring this point 1. But what is the preference pattern here? The vertically we will draw a perpendicular and a horizontal line D. Okay, a vertical line and horizontal line will be drawn, so this will represent your what? Preferred batches of preferred zone, we can say, or the superior combinations. Okay, if there will be change in your income, then the consumer will prefer this point 1 or this point 1. Okay, in this way what will happen? You can able to prefer the according to consumers your reveal preference hypothesis. देखो ये आम देखीदेवा वीक एक्सिम्स ऑफ रिवील प्रिफरेंस रे कौन अच्छी देखो बजेट लाइन दुईटा अच्छी. ओके, ए बजेट लाइन x2 एवं यहाँ अच्छी आपंकर गोटे ये गोटे बजेट लाइन अच्छी. ओके, तो ये जो दुईटा बजेट लाइन आमको एवेलेबल अच्छे आम दुईटा पॉइंट आम कंपेयर कर देखो गोटे x1 x2 अच्छी गोटे y1 y2 अच्छी. ओके, जदि आम देखीदेवा इफ x1 x2 इज डायरेक्टली रिवील प्रिफर टू y1 y2, then we can say that x1 x2 and x1 x2 is not equal to y1 y2. definitely जदि आम x1 x2 को प्रिफर करूँ y1 y2 रु, ताहले आम निश्चित भाव में x1 x2 एवं y1 y2 समान नुह. देन आम कौन y1 y2 कैन नॉट बी डायरेक्टली रिवील प्रिफर टू x1 x2 बिकज कहीं आम जब प्रिफर करूँ ये पॉइंटा तापर ये पॉइंटा प्रिफर हो पारबनी बिकज कहीं जदि ये पॉइंटा प्रिफर हो कंसिस्टेंसी एजम्पशनटा भायोलेट हम. ओके, तो से आम एक जिनसा देखा देखो ये आम जो इनडायरेक्टली रिवील प्रिफरेंस केस जब ना देखो आम 3टी कॉम्बिनेशन ना यहाँ हूँ आप कॉम्बिनेशन x1 x2, यहाँ हूँ आपंकर y1 y2, यहाँ हूँ आप z1 z2 आई थिंक. ओके, और जदि आपंकर अच्छी x1 x2 आप प्रिफर कर x1 x2 को देन z1 z2 को. ओके, ठीक अच्छे. देन तापर आप कौन है ऑटोमेटिकली अब देखो यही z1 z2 टा आपंकर कौन रु आम अधिक प्रिफर करवा y1 y2 को बिकज कहीं y1 y2 माने बजेट लाइन ही अच्छे, यहाँ बजेट स्पीड भितर अच्छे जब आम यही बजेट लाइन देखीदेवा. ओके, तो सिंपली आम जो देखीदेवा x1 x2 जो ट्रांजिटिविटी रिलेशनशिप आम कहूँ x1 x2 इज प्रिफर टू दिस पॉइंट बिकज कहीं देखो ये x1 x2 बजेट स्पेस भितर एका अच्छी आमर कौन y1 y2 टा. तो आम जब ये दुई पॉइंट आम कंपेयर करवा को पॉइंट को धन्य पॉइंट ए है यहाँ बी एटा सी है, तो आम कौन करवा ए पॉइंट को ही आम प्रिफर करवा देन बी पॉइंट, और आम जब बी और सी पॉइंट कंपेयर कर बी पॉइंट को प्रिफर करवा देन ए पॉइंट. ओके, बुझे ठीक अच्छे. ओके, तो यहाँ आप इनडायरेक्ट प्रिफरेंस जोटा कि यहाँ आप डायरेक्टली आम कंसिस्टेंसी बिहेवियर यहाँ आप कौन रिवील प्रिफरेंस. ओके, देन देखो आप नेक्स्ट है आपंकर जो सेटिस्फेक्शन ऑफ द वर्ड राफ जोटा आम कहूँ वीक एक्सिम्स ऑफ रिवील प्रिफरेंस जोटा कि आम गोटे एग्जांपल दिखाई ये कंक्लूजन कौन जदि कंसिस्टेंट प्रिफरेंस आम रोचे इफ y1 y2 and the z1 z2 non profit maximizing the consumer if y1 y2 reveal prefer to z1 z2 and y1 y2 is we can say not reveal prefer, then it is cannot happen that z1 z2 reveal prefer to y1 y2. इता या माने कोन देखो जदि आपण प्रिफर करछन्ती y1 y2 को y1 y2 जदि आपण प्रिफर करछन्ती z1 z2 रु. ओके, ताहले आपण कना नो अदर सर्कमस्टेंसेस रे आपण प्रिफर करिवे कोन z1 z2 को. ओके, देखो धन्य फॉर एग्जांपल एठी अछि आपनकर आम कौन कर जदि आम x1 x2 का सॉरी आम y1 y2 का प्रिफर कर z1 z2 रु देन ऑटोमेटिकली दिस विल बी ऑलवेज प्रिफर्ड. ओके, अदरवाइज जदि पुणी z1 z2 जदि प्रिफरेंस हो ताहले आम कौन कंसिस्टेंसी बिहेवियर आम रही. ओके, जदि कंसिस्टेंसी बिहेवियर रही रिवील प्रिफरेंस हाइपोथेसिस आप काम देवनी. ओके, सो गला आप कौन द बेसिक थीम ऑफ रिवील प्रिफरेंस हाइपोथेसिस. आम एवं देखिए आप कौन द डेरिवेशन ऑफ द लॉ ऑफ डिमांड विथ द हेल्प ऑफ द रिवील प्रिफरेंस हाइपोथेसिस. ओके, आम देखा साइमल्सन किभली भाव में डेराइव कर रिवील प्रिफरेंस हाइपोथेसिस को यूटिलाइज करके लॉ ऑफ डिमांड बा प्राइस और क्वांटिटी डिमांड भितर जो इनवर्स रिलेशनशिप अच्छी. ओके, से जिनसा किभली भाव में एस्टाब्लिश कर देखा. तो साइमल्सन प्रोसीड्स टू एस्टाब्लिश the relationship between price and demand by assuming that income elasticity of demand is positive. Okay, it simply says that the income elasticity is positive, okay, or greater than 0 we can say. Okay, then only your law of demand can be derived. Okay, so income elasticity of demand is positive. In which case it is positive, we can say we can have the two type of good. If the income elasticity of demand is positive and income elasticity of demand is negative, we can say in case of inferior good it is negative. Okay, but in case of we can say, but in case of your positive income elasticity of demand, we can have the normal good. Therefore the main defect of this theory is that he could not explain the Giffen paradox. ओके, तो जिफेन पैराडॉक्स नहीं, जिफेन गुड क्षेत्र में आम ए गुड आम जो रिवील प्रिफरेंस आम डिराइव कर पारिबानी, जिफेन पैराडॉक्स नुह, जिफेन गुड क्षेत्र में आम रिवील प्रिफरेंस आम डिराइव कर पारिबानी, माने होल्ड करबानी, सेटा होची मेन डिफेक्ट ऑफ दिस। कहीं ना आम सब पॉजिटिव इनकम इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड नहीं छु। ओके, ठीक अच्छे। देन देखो from the positive income elasticity of demand, one, he deduces the Marshallian inverse price demand relationship। आम positive income elasticity of demand नहीं कि आम कौन कर पारिबा, प्राइस और क्वांटिटी डिमांड भीतर जो इनवर्स रिलेशनशिप अच्छे से आम एस्टाब्लिश कर पारिबा। ओके, तो देखो केमती यदि एनी गुड और सिंपल कंपोजिट गुड जदि आम नबा, सिंपल कंपोजिट मनी को आम कंपोजिट गुड जदि नौछु और आउ कौन से गुड एक्स गुड आम नौछु, then always to increase in demand when the money income alone rises। तार देखो फॉर एग्जांपल जदि मनी इनकम बढ़ुची तो ऑब्वियसली डिमांड ऑफ परचेज बढ़िबो। ओके, and must definitely shrink in demand when its price alone rise। और आ गोटे जिनस जदि आम देखिबा, जदि आम प्राइस जदि आम नै जिबा, एतर जदि प्राइसटा बढ़ुची, ओके, तो निश्चित भाव में तार डिमांड कौन हम कमिबो। जदि आम कंपोजिट गुड नौछु मनी को, तो मनी बढ़िले आप कौन होची आपणकर क्वांटिटी डिमांड बढ़ुची। ओके, किंतु जदि आम नबा एठी डिमांडटा बढ़ुची जोटी, आम जदि प्राइस जदि आम नौछु तो प्राइस जदि बढ़ुची, प्राइस बढ़ले कौन हम, देख प्राइस ऑफ एक्स जदि बढ़ुची, इनकम आपणकर कौन होची कमी जाउची, इनकम जते कमी जाउची आपण कौन होची एक्स रो डिमांड कौन हम कमी जीवो। तो आम जदि देखिबा प्राइस एवं क्वांटिटी भीतर कि रिलेशनशिप अछि, इनवर्स रिलेशनशिप रहइबो। ओके, ठीक अच्छे, इनवर्स रिलेशनशिप ही रहिबो। तो से आम लॉ ऑफ डिमांड आम डायरेक्टली आम डिराइव कर पारिबा। ओके, तो कि भाव में आम डिराइव कर देखी दिंतु ये एटा आपनकर कौन ओरिजिनल बजेट लाइन एल एम आम थिला। ओके, जिते बेले धरते फॉर एग्जांपल आपनकर प्राइस ऑफ एक्स कौन करिछि फॉल करिछि, मो फॉल इन केस नौछि, एटा फॉल कला बेले बजेट लाइन शिफ्ट कला। अच्छा, ठीक अच्छे, आम जिते बेले ए बजेट लाइन थिला आम रिवील प्रिफरेंस पॉइंट कोटा थिला आर पॉइंट थिला। इट मीन्स आम कौन देखो ए पॉइंट रो जो अच्छी बाहर तो यहाँ तो प्रिफर कर पार ना आगु। अच्छा, ठीक अच्छे, आम जब ए पॉइंट थिला ए पॉइंट भी रिवील टू बी इनफीरियर थिला, आमर ए पॉइंट भी आम रिवील टू बी इनफीरियर जहाँ अच्छी इटा। ओके, जदि धरते फॉर एग्जांपल आपनकर कौन होइछि प्राइस ऑफ एक्स टा फॉल करिछि, मनी इनकम तो आपनकर बढ़ी जाइछि, मनी इनकम बढ़ी जाइछि माने कौन बजेट लाइन आपनकर शिफ्ट करुछि राइटवर्ड शिफ्ट करुछि, और राइटवर्ड शिफ्ट करुछि आपन कौन एलएस को धरते फॉर एग्जांपल, और ए पॉइंट जो फॉर एग्जांपल आपनकर होछि रिवील प्रिफरेंस पॉइंट होछि कौन टी। ओके, देन आम देखीदेबा ये देखो बाकी ए जो पॉइंट मान अच्छी सब कौन एटा रिवील टू बी इनफीरियर आमर हो। ओके, आम जो दी पॉइंट आम जो कंपेयर करबा आर एवं टी पॉइंट, तो टी पॉइंट विल बी प्रिफर देन द पॉइंट आर। ओके, बिकॉज कहीं दैट इज विदिन द बजेट स्पेस ऑफ दिस। ओके, सो इन दिस वे एंड व्हाई दिस हैज हैपेंड, योर प्राइस हैज फॉलन। ओके, योर प्राइस हैज फॉलन बिकॉज आपनकर प्राइस ऑफ एक्स टा फॉल करिछि, इतले प्राइस ऑफ एक्स टा फॉल करिछि, आपनकर क्वांटिटी डिमांड केते थिला एक्स रो ओ ए रे थिला, जहाँ को बढ़ी कि आपनकर कौन होइछि एटा प्राइस, एटा जदि थिला प्राइस इतले आपनकर कमी छि, आपनकर कौन प्रिफरेंस टा बढ़ी छि और प्रिफरेंस बढ़ी के कौन होइछि ओ बी हो जाइछि। ओके, बिकज कहीं आप रियल मनी इनकम चेंजेस होती आम एटा कौन करवा गोटे डायग्रामेटिकल प्राइस और क्वांटिटी डिमांड रिलेशनशिप आम नहीं पारिबा, एटा प्राइसटा फॉल करिछि पी टू P1 को फॉल करिछि एवं तापर हम कौन क्वांटिटी डिमांड एक्स्ट्रा इंक्रीज करिछि, तो इनवर्स रिलेशनशिप आम डिमांड कर्वटा आम पाइगला। ओके, ठीक अच्छे, देन देखो एटा गला आम पाइगला इनवर्स रिलेशनशिप डिमांड कर्वटा आम किभली भाव डिराइव करूछु इन केस ऑफ योर आपनकर रिवील प्रिफरेंस हाइपोथेसिस। ओके, ताहले हम इंडिफरेंस कर्व भी हम डिराइव करि पारुछे, आम किभली भाव डिराइव करि पारुछे आम देखंतु, आम जदि पॉइंट डिफरेंट फॉल इन प्राइस और राइज इन प्राइस दुईटा केस नहीं, फॉल इन प्राइस एवं राइज इन प्राइस आम केस नवा है जिते बेले धरते फॉर एग्जांपल आमर ओरिजिनल बजेट लाइन थिला ए बी ओरिजिनल बजेट लाइन आपण कोन ए बी अब ए बी पॉइंट जिते थिला आम रिवील प्रिफरेंस पॉइंट कोन थिला आमर के सॉरी आमर आर थिला एवं जदि आम एटी गोटे जदि आम जो डायरेक्टली वर्टिकल लाइन और हॉरिजॉन्टल लाइन आम ड्रा करबा दिस area represents your preference zone or superior zone. All these points are inferior zone, we can see. Okay, this area and this area, all these area inferior zone. Okay, so in this case, if there is a fall in the price of x, if there is a fall in the price of x, then what will happen? Your budget line will shift. And how the budget line will shift? Suppose for example your budget line will shift in this way, point CB. Okay, a CD will be a budget line. If CD will be your budget line, then what will happen? Your preference point will change. Just one point. Okay, so right now you are preferring this point. It means if you draw this point here, okay, this area represents your revealed to be inferior point. Okay, then suppose for example if there is a rise in the price of x, if the rise in the price of x, the money income will decline, and if the money income will decline, the budget line will be steeper. Okay, that point E and F point. Okay, so what will happen in this case? Suppose you are having you must have the combinations, the higher combinations point in between this. Okay, because this combination is revealed to be inferior than R point, so therefore you will choose the point above this point A to E point. Okay, so suppose for example the consumer is choosing this point, so this will represent your preference pattern and other are revealed to be inferior. So in the fall in price, rise in price and the point, we can have different preferences point. Just one. Okay, so by joining all these points R, S, T, we can have the indifference curve. We can have the indifference curve. indifference curve पाई जिबा. Okay, देखो तो मुझे आउट के डिटेल आपको दे देछि हला ignorant zone एटा हला टोटल आपन ignorant zone फर्स्ट स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट हला आपन एटा होछि प्रेफरेंस जोन हला एटा आपन inferior zone एटा ignorant zone. Okay, then हमर जते बेले पुनी जतेले प्राइस फॉल करूछि बजेट लाइन शिफ्ट करूछि राइट वर्ड शिफ्ट करूछि एटा पुनी कोन हे आपनकर inferior zone कैटेगरी पले आसे बिकॉज़ काहे कि आपन देखंतु अर्लियर ए पॉइंट हम प्रेफर करथले. ओके, तो ऑब्वियसली ए भीतर हमर कोन जदी हम बी पॉइंट एटी दी प्रेफर करबा ए पॉइंट हमर कोन inferior zone भीतर पले आसबो एटा होछि अब टी पॉइंट हम जदी नउतला. ओके, देखंतु पुनी जदी हम जदी चेंज होछि पी एवं क्यू हमर प्राइस एते बेले राइज करूछि मनी इनकम आपण कमुछि मनी इनकम कमिले बजेट लाइन कर स्टीपर रहउछि हला स्टीपर जतले रहउछि देखंतु एठी एई स्लोप हम पहुंचू ए पॉइंट हम काहे कि ना नेक्स्ट पॉइंट नवानी बिकॉज़ काहे कि ना अदर पॉइंट आर रिवील टू बी inferior पॉइंट होई जिबा हमर. ओके, ताले हम ए पॉइंट भीतर ही हम चूज करबा एब ए पॉइंट जदी हम चूज कर जदी हम वर्टिकल एवं हॉरिजॉन्टल नै जिबा एटा हला आपण प्रेफरेंस जोन हबा बाकी अदर पॉइंट आपण कना ए जो भीतर पॉइंट अछि से हला आपण inferior जोन एटा आपण कना ignorance जोन. ओके, ठीक अच्छे. देन ए हिसाब रे हम कोन करबा डिफरेंट पॉइंट को हम जॉइन करके हम कोन पाई परबा इंडिफरेंस करबा हम पाई परबा. ओके, in this way we can derive the indifference curve with the help of the revealed preference hypothesis. So let's discuss what are the superiority of the revealed preference hypothesis. The main superiority is that it does not include the psychological or the introspective information, rather it is based upon the what actual behavior of the consumer. Okay, and another important thing is that it avoids the continuity assumption of the utility of the indifference curve approach. तो माने इंडिफरेंस कर्व अप्रोच रे हम जो गुटे कंटीन्यूअस कंजम्पशन रे हम जो गुटे हम नैथिला. ओके, इट मीन्स रिफ्लेक्सिव बिहेवियर जो हम नैथिला तो से जिनसडा हमर कोन रहबा एठी किछि एमती एजम्पशन रहइबनी. ओके, हम कंटिन्यूटी रखू कि मान रखू हमर किछि एठी फरक पडुनी. ओके, अनदर इंप्रूवमेंट ऑफ दिस थ्योरी इज दैट दिस थ्योरी प्रोवाइड द बेसिस ऑफ द वेलफेयर इकोनॉमिक्स इन टर्म्स ऑफ द ऑब्जर्वेबल बिहेवियरल बेस्ड ऑन द कंसिस्टेंट चॉइस. जेहेतु हम एटा कंसिस्टेंट चॉइस पर बेस करूछि एवं बिहेवियरल पैटर्न को हमको रिप्रेजेंट करूछि तरा वेलफेयर इकोनॉमिक्स क्षेत्र रे गुड बेसिस हम पाई जेबा रिवील प्रेफरेंस थ्योरी के देखि. ओके, सो ऑल दीज आर योर superiority over the other two theories of consumer behavior. Okay, so let's come to the what is the criticism of this theory. The first theory is there it neglects the indifference, because though we are consistent behavior is here, amar jehetu consistent behavior eti rahuchi tahale amar nischit bhavare kon hochi ta ame indifference to ame ignore koruchi. It means the consumer cannot be indifferent. Okay, then next point hela apanakara not possible to separate the substitution effect. ame eti substitution effect ko ame separate kari paruni, jo Hicksian ebong apanako jo Slutsky substitution effect ame separate kari paruni. then he exclude the Giffen paradox, jota mu apanako कहउतली Giffen goods केतरी explain करि पारुनी, because काहे कि ना हमें always the positive income elasticity of demand हमें नहीं छेका, एवं in case of Giffen good we can have the negative income elasticity of demand, we can say, because when there is an increase in the income we are consuming less and less of the commodity, therefore the income elasticity of demand in case of Giffen good is negative, we can say, or the inferior good is negative, therefore it cannot explain the Giffen paradox. Okay, another point is that the consumer does not choose any one combination. So another point is that the consumer will not choose any one particular combination, he will choose the more than one combinations. Okay, so that is the another criticism of this. The choice does not reveal prefers.